Hello everyone. I wanted to show a different way of doing the background for your cupcakes. And this is a new material that I discovered and I really like how they look. And what you're going to do is you're going to choose two colors and do one at a time. One for the top half and one for the bottom half. Do you remember we did that invisible line behind the cupcakes to show the wall and then the table? So I'm going to first start with, let's say, my table, and I'm going to pick something. I like soft colors. I don't even know how this is going to look, but I'm going to try doing maybe this turquoise color because it matches my cupcake. And what I'm doing is I'm going to kind of, it's like a big crayon, right? It's like a big crayon-y thing, but it's really just more than a crayon or a pencil crayon. Kind of feels like a pencil crayon and a crayon at the same time. But how you would use it is you would put you're not filling it in completely. You're going to kind of just go around your cupcake and the line where your table is. Okay, and don't worry about filling in so much, but you're kind of going to go around it. And I even want to go around a little bit on the outside here. And you can kind of color like you're using a pencil crayon or a crayon or even a pastel. It kind of feels like everything in one. And I'm going to turn my page around. And I'm kind of just coloring on the outside. I'm going to fill in a little bit here, a little bit here, and a little bit here. Now, let's see what happens. I'm not coloring the whole thing, and I'm not pressing too hard. And I'm now going to take a little cup of water and a paintbrush, and I have my tissue beside me, or paper towel, and I'm going to just dab a little bit of paint, a little bit of water, on my paintbrush, and I'm going to kind of go to the side where the color is, and I'm going to pull it in. And it really turns into like a watercolor. And it's quite lovely. You don't need too much water, but you do need to kind of pull that color from the outside. You're making it, it's like filling in all that white stuff. And it kind of gives it that really nice light look. And see where I use the marker on that one, it kind of, that brown is coming off. And if you feel you need to add a little bit more, you can always kind of go in like that. Just add a little bit of color there and then wet that, and it mixes right in. You can see how it just blends right in there. And don't forget to go back and forth around where that darker paint is and kind of pull it in. So I need wet, and I'm going to kind of mix there so it, it kind of pulls it in. So don't be afraid to go over that area, and be careful around the sides of your cupcakes. Remember, watercolor won't ruin crayons or oil pastels. And I can just keep going here. I don't want to add too much water because if I do, then the paper gets too wet. And we kind of got to let it dry a little bit. And now you can see what I really like about this is that it gives it that Ted Harrison, light kind of painted look. Now I'm going to do the other side, and I'm going to clean my brush in the water, dab it in, and then just take my tissue and just clean it off there. If your water's really dirty, which mine isn't, you could clean it, but you don't need to because you really aren't using that much water. Now I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do orange for the background. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go around, but you have to wait till this is dry. So this area has to be dry or else the orange color is going to kind of blend in with that green. So I'm going to start on the outside here. And I'm not pressing too hard. I'm just kind of coloring around the area here. Being very careful, because I know this isn't dry. I'm going to ask you to wait till your half is dry, but I'm going to be very careful. I'm carefully going to go around. Try not to go on top. These are quite satisfying to do. Remember, wait to do the other half until this is mostly dry. And yes, your paper will curl a little bit, but we will flatten it later after it's all dry. And I'm going to kind of just go in a little bit here and a little bit around here. A lot of area to paint in here, so I'm going to just kind of lightly, I'm not putting too much down, you can see, so I won't have that much there. Okay, and that's enough for there. And now I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. I can take my brush and I'm going to gently, remember, paint carefully. Just a little bit of water, and then you can always add more. Very careful when you're going around your cupcakes. And there I have it. Now this is a really good base. And what I wanted to say is after you do that, you can go over this and give it some texture if you want, or you can leave it plain. So if I wanted to, I could take my crayons, for example, you know, I love working with my crayons, and I could take that color that I used that's similar, and I could even like wait till it's completely dry, and then I can, oh, maybe the crayons don't work over it. No, they do. Not so well. Okay, for maybe not crayons, but I could probably take the same color and go over like that and make, you know, lines on my tablecloths or dots or something to give it a little bit more interest. If you want, you don't have to. There you go. I think that's it. I don't think I need to do any more. And I got to let it dry, and I really like that background. Oh, I forgot to do my shadows, but that's okay, because what I can do now is I can go over this. So what I would do is, if I were you, is I would do your shadow in pastel or crayon and then do the background. But I'm going to correct this now, and I'm going to find that brownish color. This is pretty dry here, and I'm going to do my shadow using this and see if it'll work. It'll mix a little bit with the green, but that's okay. Or I can just go like that on top and not use water. And that's the nice things about this, is that you don't have to use water to work with these. You can just use them as is. Ta-da! And there you have it. I'm going to actually go over this to make it a little bit lighter here. Oh, I don't know what that is. It's a skin tone. Perfect. I could just keep playing with these. They're so fun. And there you have it. I am done. So that is one with watercolor. And then here's the other one that I did earlier with crayons. And it's up to you how you want to do them. You can do either way, your choice. Okay?